All right. Hello and welcome back to the Switch the Field podcast. I'm your host, Alfredo, with our resident referee and coach,
Sebastian Marquez.
and our resident fullback,
G Roach.
And I'm extremely happy, boys, because for once we get to stop talking about Chelsea and we get to focus on what I think is the greatest single event humans can experience on this planet. And it's the FIFA World Cup. And we're going to focus strictly on the matches and the sport because there's a million things wrong with it being hosted in Qatar this year, but we're just going to focus strictly on the groups
football.
at hand, strictly on the football, lads, because, like we said, so much wrong with it being in Qatar. But we're going to start off with the group stage predictions for now. Who's going to be left out, who's going to pass on. Is the Champions Curse going to stay alive for another year? Will our boys go through? Let's start off with Group A, brothers.
So we have Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, and Netherlands. Seb, you go first.
In that group, I have the Netherlands, Senegal going through, and Ecuador just missing out in third, with Qatar in fourth.
All right, I got the Netherlands in first as well, but I actually have Ecuador passing on in second. I don't think they're not my dark horse pick, but I think they're going to be the team that's going to surprise people for how well they play. I don't know if you remember, but just 3 years ago, they had a really deep run in the U20 World Cup. A lot of those players are featuring in this tournament now. Moises Caicedo is going to be a huge player to watch for them.
I believe that too.
So I definitely think they're going to surprise people. Senegal has a insanely talented team, but I think they're just barely going to miss out. Missing Mane in that first game might hurt them a lot.
That's going to be a huge game, especially, it's versus Netherlands' first game, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
They're going to drop that game for sure. If you don't have Mane in that game, I don't see them getting a point out of that game.
I still see them competing, but if they can compete, at the very least get a draw and have Mane for the next 2 games, I can see them pushing through.
I think so, but I think Ecuador really, they're spicy
I
up
think
front.
they're very good.
They're
very
explosive. We've seen them.
Yeah.
We've
They have
seen
a
them score
solid
plenty
squad.
of goals. They thrashed Colombia in the qualifiers. Sucks to say, but they have some talent up there. So I think they could pull it off versus Qatar and Senegal, and maybe just drop a game versus Netherlands. Who knows?
So you're picking Ecuador and Netherlands to go through?
Yeah, but Qatar,
Which one in first,
the home country, Netherlands, of course.
Okay.
But the home country have never lost the first game of the tournament, so
I can see that being a draw.
I really hope not. Qatar, in my opinion, is definitely the 4th best team in this group, but I don't want people to just think that they're pushovers. I see a lot of people saying that if Qatar does anything in this group, it'll be because they paid their way through it, which, again, wouldn't be surprised considering it's Qatar. But they won the Asian Cup a couple years ago. They exceeded expectations in the Gold Cup, and in my opinion, they were the 2nd best team in that tournament. They should have knocked the U.S. out if it wasn't for them missing that penalty. So Qatar is a lot better than people give them credit for, but I don't think it's gonna be enough to get them through. It's gonna that 2nd through 4th is gonna be close, but I have Ecuador going.
I think it's gonna be like a 2010 South Africa, just barely missing it by goal differential.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, I have Netherlands passing on in first, and Ecuador in second.
Me too. And I have Senegal in third. But
yeah, I have Senegal in third as well. And you have the Netherlands and
I
Senegal,
have
right?
Netherlands first, Senegal second. Ecuador just missing out.
African countries also have had a little bit of bad luck, especially Senegal in the last World Cup when they lost by yellow cards.
Yeah.
Discipline, which that must blow as a fan of that country, but we move. Who knows? Maybe things are different this World Cup.
They have a lot of the same squad. They have really talented players with another tournament of experience now. So who knows? But I'm pretty high on the Ecuador squad.
I agree.
But now moving on to a very important group for us, Group B, featuring England, our boys, the United States, Iran, and Wales. I have many, many, many opinions on this. This is the group I've studied the closest. I've been watching. Well, I've been reading up a lot on each of the other 3 teams, which maybe for better or for worse has made me a lot more confident in the U.S. But I want to get your guys' thoughts on it.
I have in this group England in first and the U.S. in second, only because I'm just backing our boys. I really believe that Wales could do something, but only because of the talent that they have, which is minimal. But with Daniel James, they have Gareth Bale, Kiefer Moore now picking up a lot of form. They have Aaron Ramsey. They also have Harry Wilson, Nico Williams. They have a squad, but I don't think they get through. I think they just narrowly miss out as well.
I saw Greg Berhalter talk about Wales, saying that they're not a country to be slept on because if you look at their roster, they're a Premier League squad. I mean, not top, but they have almost the whole squad is Premier League players, and that's obviously something to look at. But I think the U.S. might pull. I don't know. The U.S. always finds something and pull through every World Cup. Yeah, Berhalter is a haram coach, but we've done it every other World Cup. We've done it in the most difficult World Cup group, possibly the whole decade, maybe even more. So I think we could pull it off.
So you have
I have
the U.S.
England in first and U.S. in second.
Okay, I have the same thing. I think we all do. I have England first and the U.S. in second, because I think, I don't know. The U.S. obviously had an awful September window, but so did Wales. Wales haven't won a game since the game they won to qualify for the World Cup. And aside from that game, they've lost they've gone winless in every game they've played since March. They haven't been on good form, and even when they're allowed to have a lot of possession, they don't create many chances. They're really good on the counter, but it didn't amount to much when they played Belgium in the Nations League. So yeah, I expect them to come out defensive against the U.S., which it's if the center back pairing can keep up with them, which right now it's looking like Tim Ream and Walker Zimmerman for the U.S. Then that might cause some problems for them. But I think player for player, the U.S. are more talented than the Wales.
Yes.
Iran is dangerous in attack, but that's really the only part of the field where Iran has a lot of goal scoring threat. Their midfield is bad, is really bad. Is one of the worst in the World Cup, at least from what I know. That's where the U.S. is best. So I feel like that's where the matchup is going to be won between those two teams. And in the end, I've told you guys before, I think the U.S. are going to have their best performance of the World Cup against England because there's going to be no pressure to win that. They're going to be defensive the entire game, and their only opportunities are going to come in the counter and when they get little bits of possession here and there, because England is just player for player more talented than the U.S. Yeah. So that's why I feel like the U.S. are best when they play in the counterattack, if we're being honest. All we have is a bunch of players that like to run quick passes, 1-2 touch passes. So that's why I feel like their best performance is going to come against England. Will they get a result out of that? I really hope. I doubt it, but I feel like what we have in this team, despite what happened in September, is enough to get us past Wales and Iran.
I agree.
Maybe that's just me being a little too overconfident. I'm not gonna lie; these hype videos are doing wonders, bro. I'm ready to run through a brick wall for this team, bro. But yeah, I have the U.S. passing on a second. It's definitely gonna be close. But this group, if we're being honest, this group kind of sucks.
This group
every single team in this group is entering with some turmoil within the team. England just on bad form, got relegated from their group in the Nations League. U.S. had an awful September window, weren't good in qualifying, only got third in through goal difference. Iran had to recently change coaches again because of division in the locker room, and they're going through a lot of political turmoil in their country, which is going to cause more division. Players are being threatened to be left off the roster because some support the regime, some support the people. And then Wales just been on awful form. So this group is haram.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say this. I would not doubt if England have a slip up. Like we said, they have incredible talent, but they just can't piece it together sometimes. They just get through with their talent. And maybe that might cause a hiccup, just like, we see Man City do every now and then. It's possible. France, we'll get there.
We've seen it with England before, going into the World Cup, with like that team in 2010 expected to blow everybody out of the water, didn't even win it. We know who won it, and then got battered by Germany. So who knows? Hopefully it happens this year. Personally, I would love to see England fail. Absolutely. I'm not gonna lie. I'm seeing all types of Premier League fans talking nonsense. Chelsea fans, my own people talking nonsense on the U.S., bro. It's ridiculous.
We've seen them bomb out in 2014 too.
Yeah, with another talented squad, but whatever. I'm not gonna get too emotional yet because we have a million other groups to go through. Group C, it comprises of Argentina, Poland, Mexico, and Saudi Arabia. I
have in first place Argentina and in second place Poland. I don't think this Mexico side is very good, and they haven't even performed. Even today, they lost to Sweden, and they're just not performing.
I mean, I don't know. I've never been high on Poland. I mean, we saw them get battered in 2018, and I'm not high on Lewandowski anymore. Even though he's still doing bits in La Liga, I'm still not high on Lewandowski to be enough to pull through. Yeah, Mexico aren't the greatest, and they bringing most of the same squad from 2018, but
yeah, but they're on bad form.
Yeah.
I mean, you could see after the Colombia game specifically as well, they were up 2-0, and in the second half they just blew it. And it's not the first time that it happens. And then today they lose to Sweden 2-1. They don't have, in my opinion, they don't have a good squad anymore.
And
does Poland have Memo Ochoa?
The thing is, this Mexico team is one of the least impressive they've ever taken to the World Cup. I don't know if you guys saw that their youngest field player at the World Cup is, I think, either a month or a year. I'm not entirely sure, but a month or a year older older than the oldest field player for the U.S. So they're bringing an old team. This team has been around for a long time. Tata Martino is specifically choosing to leave off younger players for this team that could have possibly made it. He's still going with Raul Jimenez as his starting number 9. They're missing Tecatito Corona, who's been a spark plug for their attack over the last couple of years. I don't think they have enough to get it done this year. I would normally pick them. As much of a hater as I am when it comes to Mexico, I don't think.
I just don't see it this year.
Yeah, I have Poland going through only because Mexico or their roster looks bad. But yeah, and then I have Saudi Arabia and fourth. Not to disrespect them.
I think we all do.
Yeah. But yeah, so you have Argentina and Poland?
Argentina and Poland.
Yeah.
First Argentina, 2 Poland, 3 Mexico.
Yeah, me too.
I just have it back switched up between Poland and Mexico.
You have Mexico in second? All right.
I think they can pull it through. Passion merchants.
Group D. Now we have France, Denmark, Tunisia, and Australia.
I have France and Denmark making it out of the group, and Tunisia in 3rd, and Australia in 4th.
I have it in the exact same order. France in 1st.
I have Denmark in 1st. And
really?
I say this because I don't believe the curse is going to happen this year, but that's strictly because Tunisia and Australia don't have enough to kick them out. But if they had if we switch Group D and E with Japan and Costa Rica, I see them going out.
I just think there's too much talent in that French squad to not get first.
Bro, I would really love to pick them out of the tournament. I'm not gonna lie, but then I start thinking about their attack. You have Mbappe, you have Benzema back, who they didn't have in 2018. Then in the midfield, you have Camavinga, Tchouaméni. Like, this team is stacked top to bottom, man. I just find it so hard to believe they're not gonna have a deep run.
I agree, but we've seen them bottle the Euros. They bottled the Euros. The World Cup, they scraped their way to the finals every game except for the final. And that was just because they had an exhausted Croatia team. I mean, their average age was close to 30.
Yeah,
and they played a whole match, if you count the extra time.
Yeah, they went to extra time both games. I don't know, man. This team, I have France going relatively deep. I don't have them going to the final, but I have them going deep.
I don't know. It's bad. There's something not clicking within the whole team.
I
even
like
with
that Denmark squad though.
Yeah, but even with the whole stacked squad, they tripped up a couple times. They tripped up a couple times within the Euros and then in the World Cup. So with some of those star players out, like Varane and
no,
Pogba,
Varane's back though.
Varane's back?
Varane's back. He's gonna be back. I believe, if not the first game, definitely the second.
Okay, then that's different.
Pogba and Kante out.
Pogba and Kante out. Yes, Tchouaméni and Camavinga are very good, but they're still young, and we've seen Madrid trip up with them in the midfield a couple times. So on the biggest stage of the world, they have the talent, but I don't know if they have the guts.
So you have Denmark in first, France in second.
Denmark in first, France in second, and then.
And the two of us have France and Denmark. All right, moving on to Group E. We have Germany, we have Spain, we have Japan, and Costa Rica.
I think we have it in the same exact order again. I have Germany in first, Spain in second, Japan third, and Costa Rica fourth.
I think I got my first Fred bomb of the video.
No way.
Oh boy.
I have Germany, I have Japan, I have Spain, and Costa Rica.
He's not high on Morata.
Oh my goodness. You're going to make me shake out of PTSD.
I have Germany, Spain, Japan, and Costa Rica, but Japan have a solid squad. I think they're super slept on for Asian teams. They have a lot of European players and big time, in the Bundesliga and the Premier League. I don't see them going out, but if they do, I'm not shocked at all.
No, yeah, I have them. I'm not gonna lie. Yes, my opinion on them was swayed after what I saw against the U.S. But man, they have ballers on that team, bro.
They have a very good squad.
They're
and the
really
way they play is good.
they're aggressive in attack. They have runners. They're really good on the high press. Like they folded that U.S. team. Don't get me wrong. They played like ass, but Japan has ballers, bro. And their coach, they've played pretty well over the last couple of months in qualifying too. They used the September window literally just to fine tune. Like they had their team ready to go for a long time. This team's been together. There's chemistry. So, and I'm really not high on this Spain team at all.
Really,
there's nothing impressive about it.
I mean, their defense, their back line is atrocious. I mean, it's nothing that impressive if we're being honest. Bringing Eric Garcia over Sergio Ramos. Yeah, Sergio Ramos isn't getting as much playing time as he used to at Madrid, and he's not at perfect form. But that guy is like.
But he's been playing pretty good for PSG this year. So,
but I mean, I'm just saying it's not Real Madrid Sergio Ramos. But how do you take Eric Garcia over Sergio Ramos? That guy is a legend for Spain. He's a legend at center back. Probably top 3, top 5 center backs of all time. I mean, that
one
guy's
of the best
a legend.
scoring, probably the best scoring center back of all time.
That's a huge locker room presence. Huge locker room presence.
Yeah, and that's crazy to me considering that you could take 26 players this year. I thought every team would bring a guy just for vibes, bro.
Yeah,
like just a guy to rally the boys, get coffee for the team, bro. I thought every team would have that guy. Well, the US have Christian Roldan, but I thought at the very least Sergio Ramos could do that.
Did Spain bring Busquets?
I'm not too sure.
Did,
I don't know, but they brought Rodri in that.
But
position,
Rodri's good.
So.
But
that's why they have some really good talent, but they also just have
I don't know. I just
their attack doesn't impress me.
No, at all,
bro.
at all.
Yeah, but I don't know though. I just think because it's Luis Enrique and he's a really, really good coach, so I think he's just gonna do something.
Dude, if you compare this to teams of Spanish teams from the past, you compare this to even the 2018 team, it's clearly a downgrade. So that's why I'm just not impressed. I think Japan are gonna surprise people.
Thiago Aspas versus Morata. I mean, you don't have a fantastic comparison right there.
But Japan did surprise people in 2018. They're another year older, another 4 years older, more experience for their players. So I think they're gonna surprise people. I think they're gonna move on from this group. So you have Germany and Spain.
Germany and Spain. Germany first, second Spain, Japan third.
I have Germany, Spain, and Japan, but wouldn't be shocked if it was Germany, Japan, Spain.
Yeah, I got Germany and Japan. And then Group F, we got Belgium, Morocco, Canada, and Croatia.
For that one, I have first Belgium and second Croatia and third Canada and fourth Morocco.
I do as well, but I think there's another group that's really unimpressive. I think Belgium, not what they were at all in 2018. A lot of the players, like a lot of the star players, Lukaku, Hazard, fallen off. It took everything out of me to not call him Lukaku.
Trossard. I'm high on Trossard to be amazing.
Yeah, Trossard is going to make a huge difference for them. Croatia, bro, that team was already old in 2018. This team is ancient, bro. Like, I think Canada is going to give these teams some problems.
Yeah, but to be fair to Croatia, I mean, they still have Modric is still playing well.
Yeah.
Perisic is actually playing really well for Tottenham, and I mean, they have other players like Kostic, Brozovic, Kramaric, Vlasic.
Yeah,
they're players that can cause havoc. But I mean,
that's why I still have them to move on. But I don't think they're going to be anywhere near as impressive as they were in 2018. Obviously, they made it to the final, but I don't think they're going to replicate that at all.
I don't think so either.
I mean, I have Belgium and Canada, but the only reason I say that is because Canada's young. They got some runners on their team. They got speed.
I like Buchanan a lot. And David.
They're gonna melt some defenses. They're gonna melt Croatia's defense. They're gonna melt Belgium's defense on the offense. It's just a matter of can they hold their backline strong enough the whole 90 minutes, and can they finish their opportunities? Because we know Alphonso Davies has iron lungs, and we know that guy's gonna run up and down the wing and feed the middle. And Jonathan David is a great player. So
yeah,
I think maybe they get out, but I'm not high on Croatia, but Morocco either.
Yeah,
Morocco. I mean, their best player a couple years ago was Ziyech, and what's he doing now?
Yeah, ruined it all at Chelsea.
And Hakimi's been flip-flop on form for PSG.
He scored the other day, which is pretty good.
I want to pick Canada. I actually want to be pretty high on them.
Yeah, I want to pick Canada too.
The only reason I'm not picking them is because they're young and they've never experienced a big tournament like this. However, they washed everybody in Canada. They beat Mexico. They drew Mexico at home and at Azteca. And in the Gold Cup just before that, they should have made the final. They only didn't beat the U.S. out of pure luck because the U.S. scored in the first 20 seconds of the game and then spent the rest of the 90 minutes fighting for their life. Canada team is insanely good.
Yeah,
They
I
have the
believe so.
best coach in CONCACAF, by the way, like by a mile. So that, and they have a lot of cohesion too. A lot of their players recently made moves to Europe, like Tajon Buchanan. Jonathan David's been there for years. And obviously we know Alphonso Davies is probably the best player out of CONCACAF.
I think they have hunger. I
Yeah.
think they have enough hunger to come out.
I-
Maybe not
they have-
convincingly, but I think probably tied on points, goal differential type.
I mean, yeah, they have a pretty good squad, and I like them.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I was thinking about picking them to get out of the group, but it's just I don't know. I think
they're gonna be too starstruck.
yeah.
The moment's gonna be too big for them. But yeah, I have them in third. I'd really like to put them in, but no, I have Croatia in second. So you have Belgium and Croatia?
Belgium, Croatia, and Canada in third.
I have Belgium, Croatia as well. You?
Belgium, Canada, Croatia.
All right, second to last group, Group G, we got Belgium, Switzerland, Serbia, and Cameroon.
I have Brazil in first, Serbia in second, and Switzerland in third, with Cameroon in fourth.
Okay, I got Brazil, Switzerland, then Serbia, and Cameroon.
True.
Brazil, Brazil, just to put it out there, they're my pick to win the whole thing.
I'm with you.
So just getting out of this group won't be an issue for me.
At all.
Yeah.
Switzerland, though, I find them pretty intriguing. I think Xhaka coming into form for Arsenal, huge for them. And I just like the player to have overall, to be honest. I like Seferovic as a striker. And you know, they impressed me at the Euros last year, so they're gonna be my pick. I mean, Serbia has a solid team as well, but not.
I just see. Wait, what did you have?
I mean, I have Brazil, Switzerland, Serbia, and Cameroon also, but I
The
don't
only
know.
one is
Serbia's
Serbia.
got 200 pounds of man tits up front with Mitrovic.
Bro, they have Milinkovic, Savic.
Number one Mitrovic fan in the world, bro.
They have
I love that
Milinkovic.
guy.
They have Milinkovic, Savic, Tadic. They have Vlahovic. They have Mitrovic. They have a solid squad.
Yeah, I think that's gonna
But
be.
can you fit them all in the
I
front?
think you can if you put Vlahovic and Mitrovic up top, and you put Tadic in the middle with Milinkovic, Savic.
I do like me some Tadic, but that's a couple years ago.
Mm.
We saw him in a phenomenal form 2019 in that Champions League run, but is it still there?
I think so.
That's
why I picked him second.
is it still there in the top stage? That's what we're looking for.
I mean, I think second and third is gonna be really close though.
Yeah.
I don't want to discount Cameroon entirely. But they just don't have enough to compete against.
Choupo-Moting.
They just don't have enough, in my opinion.
I
They're
agree.
definitely the fourth best team in that
Yeah.
group. But yeah, I think it's gonna be close. I think Switzerland and Serbia are interchangeable, but I'm going with Switzerland for now. So you have Brazil and Serbia.
Brazil, Serbia, and then Switzerland
Alright.
third.
I got Brazil and Switzerland to get out.
Brazil,
Yeah.
Switzerland, Serbia, and then Cameroon.
All right, and then the last group, we got Portugal, Uruguay, Ghana, and South Korea. Now I'm gonna say, I am incredibly high on Uruguay. I love that team.
I think Uruguay has a very, very solid squad, but this Portuguese team has ropes around me. I love that team. They have a very solid squad, and I think it's better than Uruguay's. But it wouldn't surprise me if Uruguay even get first and go far in the World Cup.
I have Uruguay winning the group, and then Portugal right behind them. I think it's cruel to South Korea. I'd like for them to advance.
I love their South Korean team. They're pretty solid. They
I
have
know.
Kim Min Jae, who's been tearing it up in Napoli in the
Serie A.
in the Serie A. They have Hwang Hee-chan, who's good, and Heung Min Son. So
Yeah, obviously they're a star guy.
I speak from the heart sometimes. Sometimes I don't think properly, and I have not that I'm not high on Uruguay, because that's not the case. I love Fede Valverde. I mean, who knows if Cavani's even gonna play, but I love him. Darwin Nunez.
I heard Darwin is gonna be Darwin and Luis Suarez starting up front.
I mean,
But-
Suarez has been good in South America, but I mean, is it gonna continue in the World Cup? We've seen him in big moments. I mean, in 2018, absolutely, them
Yeah.
two destroyed
Yeah.
Portugal.
They would have been friends if Cavani never got hurt.
I agree.
Yeah, but and even regardless of Suarez playing at a different level now, the national team brings out different beasts in people.
Yeah.
I think Suarez for Uruguay is a monster.
I'm with you, but unfortunately, I'm speaking from
You have
from the
Uruguay
heart.
not making it out of the group.
I see South Korea pulling it
I
together.
could have seen
I
it
want.
also.
I
could've
I
seen
just
it
want to
also.
see there's that one team that's gonna surprise you, and that one team that's gonna pull it out. 2014 we had Costa Rica. 2018 we had Japan almost knocking out Belgium. I think I think South Korea could
This
do an
South Korea
impossible.
team
I
is
think-
pretty solid, I would admit.
Bro, if Uruguay avoid Brazil in the round of 16, I have them going as far as the semifinals.
And all of that is possible. Just
So-
I think South Korea is really solid as well.
Between you and me, I low-key see a world where Uruguay make the World Cup final. Because if they get out of the group, they play if they get out in first the way I think they're going to, they're gonna play one of Switzerland or Serbia. That's a win for them. Getting into the semifinals,
Spain or Belgium.
yeah, and I'm not entirely. I don't remember what the combination was, but a win would see them against France in the semifinals.
If France, well,
Because I have France getting there.
first.
I don't think France have enough dog in them. I'm not gonna lie. I think Uruguay got that dog in him. Darwin Nunez's little ass, but he's like Timo Werner kind of ass. Like
But he's been picking it up.
He's
Rusty.
getting
Yes.
in the right position.
yeah,
He's gonna trip over himself 3 times, but he's gonna score a banger.
yeah. I mean, I have faith in Darwin Nunez. I'm not gonna lie. I think Darwin Nunez is literally Uruguayan La Caca, bro.
I want to see.
He's gonna.
I
ball
want to
out for
see
the
a good
national team.
story. So if it's not South Korea, I'd like to see Uruguay take it a little far. But for my predictions, them coming in second, they're not beating Brazil, who are coming first in the group of 4.
If they get second, yeah, I agree. It's over for them.
Yeah, Brazil are nasty.
That would be a good ass game, though.
There'd be a
Well,
lot of
yeah.
good ass games in my matchup.
Oh yeah, but like I said, I only have them going that far because I think they're gonna get first in the group.
I think Portugal have too much talent. That back line is incredible. I mean, even though Pepe is old, like you said, he's playing.
He's been
He's
playing
doing bits
very well
in the
in
Portuguese
Porto.
league. And then Ruben Diaz, absolute monster in the back. Yeah, he slips up a couple of times, but I mean, when you're alone with who is it, John Stones, regularly in the back, you're just 2 people. I mean, you're gonna mess up. Not saying John Stones is bad, but when you're by yourself, it's a different form. You're more bound to mess up.
Yep.
But and then Joao Cancelo, who's
Not
one of
even
the
that.
best
It's Joao Cancelo,
That's
Dallo,
true.
and then on the
fullbacks
left,
in the
Nuno.
Mendes,
Everybody. They have a stacked
Bernardo
squad.
Silva. Bernardo Silva. Guedes is pretty decent. He's a little bit of a spark you could get off the bench. Bruno Fernandes.
Okay.
Bruno Fernandes.
Bruno Fernandes.
Whatever.
I mean, I'm probably speaking from the heart a little bit. I just really I love Fede Valverde, bro.
That guy is a
Luis
baller.
Suarez is one of my favorite strikers of all time. I love Cavani as well. I hope he's healthy, and I like Darwin Nunez. I have a soft spot for him. As bad as he is, I'm not gonna lie. I want him to be good. I want this Uruguay team to do well, and I think they have the recipe
They
that
have
makes
it.
great
They
World
do.
Cup teams great.
For what he did to Arsenal after doing the little this, I wish that guy nothing but suffering.
It's gonna be madness when he does it against Ghana, bro.
Oh no.
We didn't even talk about Ghana, but yeah, Ghana
Yeah.
4th place.
Yeah, I mean, notable players, Partey. The only thing he's really gonna do is control that midfield, and to what extent can he really do it?
And Iñaki Williams' brother. So that's about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's our predictions for the World Cup. We're gonna get deeper in the next video when we get into dark horse predictions, top scorer, champion, runner up, all that. But for now, we're 5 days away. Are we? Today's the 15th, right?
Today is the 15th. Yep, 16th.
Oh, I'm so fried in the brain, bro. But yeah, so now we're 4 days away. 5 days until the U.S. kick off against Wales. I'm very excited. Stay tuned because we have a lot more coming for the tournament. So I'm Alfredo. We've been Switch the Field.
Sebastian Marquez.
And I'm G Roach.
Thank you guys for watching.